Hey there, this is Veena from Patter Cake, the channel that's about baking and much more. Okay then, let's get cracking with today's recipe. Welcome to Patter Cake. It's the season to make and share Christmas goodies. So in the Patter Cake kitchen today, we are making a one-dough kuswar tray with 6 different cookies. We are making a delicious assortment of Christmas cookies with whole wheat flour and maida. Now let's start making these healthy Christmas cookie box recipes right here at Patter Cake. Welcome back. We'll begin by sifting 1 1/4 cups of maida and 1 1/4 cups of whole wheat flour. Let's mix these. Next, let's whip 1 cup plus 3 1/2 tablespoons of salted butter for around 3 to 4 minutes. The butter shouldn't be too soft. It should be able to hold the impression of a finger pressed into it. You could also beat it with a whisk. To this, we'll add 7 tablespoons of sugar that I had ground to a fine powder and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And then whisk everything well. Now let's add in the flour mix in 3 portions on low speed. I'll now lightly bring the soft dough together by hand. This is our base dough. Let's eyeball it and divide it into 5 parts, just roughly. The volume is not critical. I'll first cut out a 1/4 portion for making sandwich cookies and divide the rest of the dough into 4 portions. To 3 of these, we'll need to add in some extra ingredients later. You must be thinking I said we are making 6 different cookies, but here we have just 5 portions of dough. Well, you'll soon see how we'll pull this off. Let's start with the dough for our chocolate and nut cookies. I'll bloom 2 1/2 tablespoons of cocoa powder with 1 1/2 tablespoons of hot milk. This should be just a wet mix, not a thin paste. We'll add this to one of the smaller balls of dough along with a 1/4 cup of finely chopped almonds and cashew nuts, 1 tablespoon of powdered sugar and 1 tablespoon of atta. Let's mix these ingredients into the dough. We'll now prepare the dough for our red Christmassy cookies. Let's mix in 1 tablespoon of powdered sugar, 1 tablespoon of atta and some liquid red food color. If you're going to use gel color, then you could skip the atta. The color will become a little darker after some time. Let's move on to preparing the dough for our green, lemon or lime flavored cookies. Let's mix in 1 tablespoon of powdered sugar, a 1/4 teaspoon of sour lime or lemon zest, that's just the yellow outer part of the skin, and some green gel color. If you're going to use liquid color here, then add in 1 tablespoon of atta as well. And if you don't much care for lemon zest, you could just drop it. Here are our 5 portions of dough. Nothing extra had to be added to these 2 parts. With this one, we'll make jam cookies. And with this one, sandwich cookies. Let's roll out the dough for our sandwich cookies between 2 layers of parchment paper. The dough sheet should be somewhat thin, a little less than a 1/4 inch. I'll set this on a tray for moving it to my fridge. In a similar way, we'll roll out the chocolate dough, the red dough, and the green one, all 3 of which have to be rolled to a thickness of around a 1/4 inch. We'll have to chill these dough sheets in the fridge for around 30 to 40 minutes. The fifth portion does not need to be refrigerated. With this, we'll make jam cookies, also called thumbprint cookies. Let's divide the dough into small balls. Now make a depression on the top of each one with your thumb or the back of a small measuring spoon, like this. If the dough develops any fine cracks, you could smooth these out with your fingertip if you want to. Let's fill the hollowed parts with a little melted jam. I'm using strawberry jam, but you could use any jam of your choice. I'll bake these in my preheated oven at 170 degrees centigrade or 340 Fahrenheit for around 18 to 20 minutes till they just start browning on top. After 18 minutes, here are our baked thumbprint cookies. It's now time to take the chilled dough sheets out of the fridge one by one. Here's the chocolate cookie dough. I'll cut out a couple of large size cookies and a few smaller ones. Let's gather the scraps of dough together and re-roll this to cut out a few more cookies. Let's cut out some stars with this dough and re-roll the scraps as well. Now let's press some colorful sprinkles onto the center of each star. We'll bake all the different cookies at 170 degrees centigrade, but these and the sandwich cookies will need less time to bake. In general, smaller and thinner cookies have to be baked for less time. We'll cut out circles from the red dough. And here's how we'll decorate them. Dip a fork in flour and then press any design of your choice on them. At the center, let's push in some chocolate chips. Finally, we'll move on to cutting out our sandwich cookies. For these, I'll cut out hearts. I had dipped the cutter in flour first. Now and then, you'll have to repeat this. For the top cookie, which will have a cutout center, you could use either a small heart-shaped cutter or the broad end of an icing nozzle to cut out circles. But let me point out that the ones with small circular cutouts in the center will be much easier to handle, before baking that is. These will be our base cookies. I'll re-roll the scraps of dough and cut out some more cookies. These are thinner and will have to be baked only till they just start browning along the edges. And here's how I made the sixth kind of cookie. You could say it was a byproduct of the other cookies we made. I pressed together the leftover scraps of dough from some of the other cookies, gave it a sort of cuboid shape, and then chilled it for 30 minutes. Now let's slice this. And lo and behold, we have marble cookies. And that, folks, is our sixth kind of cookie. Now let's check out our baked cookies. It's time to assemble the sandwich cookies. We'll give the top cookies with cutout centers a liberal dusting of icing sugar. Let's flip a base cookie so that the smoother surface is at the bottom and then spread a layer of melted chocolate on it. I'm using dark chocolate. You could use milk chocolate or even melted jam instead. Don't spread this right to the edges. Now let's press the top cookie over the base one and then fill the center with some more chocolate. I'm done with these. So let's turn to our jam cookies. We let it snow all over again. Next, let's drizzle some melted chocolate on the chocolate cookies. And here it is, our festive one-dough kuswar tray offering 6 different Christmas cookies with whole wheat flour. I assure you, these healthy butter cookies are simply delicious. And as for our healthy Christmas cookie box recipes, do try them out and then happily share them with your family and friends. Merry Christmas and warm wishes for a great New Year.